All right, let's just jump right in. WrestleMania 41 just finished up in Las Vegas, and wow, the scale, it's just mind-boggling. We're talking over 117,000 people across the 2 nights.
It really is something else.
Yeah, forget just wrestling. This is like a huge cultural event now.
Absolutely. WrestleMania has become this massive annual thing, hasn't it? A real spectacle, pulls in all sorts of people. You can feel the energy.
Totally. And the boost it gives the host city is huge.
Mm.
So, yeah, we're diving deep into WrestleMania 41, April 19th and 20th, Allegiant Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually the second time Vegas hosted, but the first one was way back.
Oh, yeah. Long time ago. Shows how much it's grown.
Right.
And it's amazing when you think about it. Compare this to that first Vegas WrestleMania back in '93. The production, the stories, the global reach, it's just exploded.
No kidding. And here's a curveball for you. This WrestleMania 41, it was the first one ever to happen during Easter weekend.
Yeah, that scheduling definitely stood out. Usually it's late March, early April.
And it also changed how a lot of people watched it. I mean, obviously, pay-per-view, Peacock in the U.S., that was standard.
Sure.
But the really big news, internationally anyway, was WrestleMania debuting live on Netflix in most places. That's part of that huge new 10-year deal.
Right, that Netflix deal. That's a massive shift.
It feels like it. The WWE Network still had it in some areas, but Netflix, that's a potential game changer for reaching people.
Well, yeah, if you think about the media world now, putting it on Netflix just taps into this enormous global subscriber base instantly. It's about, meeting the audience where they are.
Makes sense. WrestleMania, it's way more than just the 2 nights at the stadium, right? It's a whole week.
Oh, yeah, Mania Week is huge.
We had Raw beforehand in Sacramento, WrestleMania X, SmackDown, which had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Carmelo Hayes won that.
The Battle Royal.
WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, NXT, Stand and Deliver. Undertaker did his one-man show.
The One Dead Man show, yeah.
There was even a roast of WrestleMania. Then the Raw After Mania, another NXT show.
Yeah.
All spread out across Vegas.
It really shows you how massive Mania Week is for the host city. Turns it into this wrestling hub, tons of events, brings in so much money.
And they had WWE World at WrestleMania too, that 5-day fan convention.
Right, the Fan Fest. Panels, meet and greets.
Yeah, podcasts, the Slammy Awards were there. WWE even partnered with Clash of Clans for some kind of enhanced match sponsorship.
Okay, corporate synergy.
And Pat McAfee was doing his ESPN show live from WWE World all week.
See, it just shows WrestleMania isn't just wrestling. It's this major entertainment property, integrating with other brands, engaging fans on all these levels.
And of course, the celebrity involvement, always a big part.
Yep. Who did they have this year?
Dana White did the opening video for night one. Jelly Roll sang God Bless America.
Okay.
Salvatore Ganacci did this whole entrance thing with the Las Vegas Raiderettes for Jey Uso. Jim Cantor from the Weather Channel was part of Jade Cargill's entrance.
Cantor, okay, that's random but kind of cool.
Living Color played CM Punk's theme live.
Nice.
Ava Max sang the anthem on night 2. Kerry King from Slayer played Damian Priest's entrance.
Oh, yeah, heavy metal for Priest makes sense.
And then, of course, Travis Scott with his big role in the main event finish.
Right. Having those celebrities, it definitely broadens the appeal, doesn't it? Brings in eyes that might not normally watch wrestling, gets mainstream buzz.
Totally adds to the spectacle feel. Now, some behind-the-scenes stuff is interesting, too. Like, apparently Minneapolis was in the running to host WrestleMania 41.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Vegas got it.
Hmm.
And the thinking is it might have been tied to the WWE-UFC merger, TKO Group Holdings. The new bosses have strong Vegas ties.
That makes sense. Big corporate moves like a merger, yeah, they definitely influence stuff like where you hold your biggest event. Follows the strategic priorities.
And back to that weird Easter weekend scheduling.
Yeah, what was the deal with that?
Well, what we heard was that Las Vegas tourism wasn't actually expecting a big crowd that weekend. It was projected to be kind of slow.
Huh. Easter weekend, okay.
So they hoped WrestleMania would give them a big tourism boost. And because of that, WWE maybe had a bit more leverage negotiating their site fee.
Okay, so it was strategic, good for WWE, potentially getting a better deal, and good for Vegas, getting visitors during a slower time. Win-win, maybe.
Seems like it.
Yeah, this is interesting. Dave Meltzer, who's, a very well-known wrestling journalist.
Very respect, yeah.
He reported the numbers WWE announced. About 61,500 for night 1 and just over 63,200 for night 2, both called sellouts.
Okay, so what's the issue?
Well, Meltzer points out, it's the same stadium, same stage setup both nights. So how do you suddenly fit almost 1,800 more people in on night 2?
That is a bit strange.
Yeah.
Not impossible, maybe slight configuration changes, but
Yeah.
it raises a question.
It does. It makes you think a little about how those official numbers get presented versus, well, the physical reality of the seats.
Interesting. Okay, so what else did the notes reveal? You mentioned a peek into earlier plans.
Yeah, this is fascinating. From something called the WWE Unreal documentary, apparently.
Yep.
It shows some drastically different ideas from, like, early December.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, one consistent idea seems to have been Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. That was apparently on the books for a while.
Okay, Cena. Wow. But what about the big title matches?
Totally different. The early plan for the World Heavyweight title was Gunther defending against both Punk and Rollins in a triple threat.
Whoa. Okay.
And then another match. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for one women's title. Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax for the other.
Jade Cargill. Wasn't she injured?
Exactly. That's one reason plans changed. The notes mention her injury impacting the WWE women's title picture.
Okay. What else was floated?
Let's see. Wyatt Six versus Judgment Day. That was apparently tied to the Uncle Howdy Taylor Rotunda injury situation.
Ah, right. So that affected those plans too.
Yep. There was talk of Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch teaming up against Io Sky and Asuka.
Interesting pairing.
Bad Bunny versus Dominic Mysterio. Chad Gable versus Rey Mysterio. Braun Breaker versus Drew McIntyre, though not for the IC title. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. It's quite a list of what-ifs.
It really is pretty eye-opening. It gives you a sense of the complex puzzle they're putting together. So many moving parts.
Totally. You're juggling dozens of performers, ongoing stories, injuries, trying to make the most compelling card possible.
And we know some specific reasons. Plans shifted beyond Jade's injury.
Yeah, the notes mention Jey Uso's popularity just exploding. That apparently led directly to him getting the singles match against Gunther instead of whatever the earlier plan was.
So fan reaction really can change things significantly.
It seems so, yeah. These aren't just creative decisions made in a vacuum. Audience response, injuries, other real-world factors, they all play a huge role.
It even says there was internal debate about Gunther versus Rollins possibly main eventing night one.
Right. Apparently, Rollins' strength on the microphone and the draw of that potential triple threat with Reigns and Punk made it a serious contender.
It just shows you how many different directions WrestleMania could have gone. Okay, let's break down night one then.
Let's do it. So where better to start than the very beginning, that first big video package, City of Dreamers.
Right, and the narrator was Dana White, the UFC guy.
Yeah. Straight away, that's kind of a curveball, isn't it? Not your typical wrestling voiceover. What did you make of that? Using someone so tied to, well, a different kind of fight game.
It's fascinating, yeah. It immediately, broadens the whole thing. Using Dana White, Mr. UFC, it puts WrestleMania right into that bigger combat sports conversation. It feels almost like they're trying to grab fans who maybe appreciate that gritty UFC feel, maybe blurring the lines a bit between wrestling's drama and MMA's, perceived realism.
I think you're right. It potentially draws in a demographic that might otherwise, just pass wrestling by.
Yeah. And the theme itself, City of Dreamers, focusing hard on Vegas. Did you think they captured that Vegas vibe effectively? Beyond just the neon signs, I mean.
Well, they definitely showed the visuals, the neon pulse, the strip, the glittering hub, as they called it. And that little detail about the strip actually being in Paradise, Nevada. It kind of adds to that dreamlike feeling, doesn't it? Like it's this larger-than-life place just outside reality, which, fits WrestleMania pretty well.
True. But did it connect deeper? That idea of everyone coming to Vegas with a dream?
Well, they dropped that statistic, didn't they? Over 40 million visitors a year, each with their own hopes. That tries to make the connection, I think.
Okay.
And then flashing up icons like Wayne Newton, Sinatra, Elvis, Tyson, alongside UFC, the Raiders, even past WrestleManias held there. It's like they're deliberately weaving this event into the Vegas fabric.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Using the city's own mythology. And the video also mentioned WrestleMania's own growth, right? From 2 hours to 2 nights, arenas to stadiums. Why emphasize that, do you think?
I think it does a couple of things. For older fans, it's a nod to the journey, how huge it's become. For newer viewers, it's like saying, look, this isn't just some wrestling show. It's a massive, evolving cultural thing.
Right, establishing its importance.
Yeah. And then that final line. Where else but Las Vegas? Where else but a place called Paradise? Where else but Wrestle-fucking-mania? It seems to capture this feeling of unparalleled and almost unbelievable spectacle.
Right. Definitely a mic drop moment. Okay, so that cinematic intro finishes, and then we get Jelly Roll performing God Bless America.
Yeah, building on his SummerSlam appearance, Alicia Taylor introduces him.
Hell yeah, Jelly Roll!
What stood out to you there?
Well, the commentary seemed positive, so it obviously landed okay. But also, I heard it was quite concise, quite short, which feels important on a show this big. You need to keep the energy up.
Exactly. Pacing is crucial. No room for lulls, especially right at the start. Keep it tight. Keep it moving. It affects the crowd, affects everyone watching at home.
Good point. Then that amazing overhead shot of Allegiant Stadium, all lit up.
Yeah.
Wow. And Michael Cole kicks in, previewing the night.
Yeah, this is where they start laying out the actual matches for you, the viewer, setting the stage for the action. And they showed clips, too, right? Superstars arriving.
So Roman Reigns, Seth
Oh.
Rollins, Paul Heyman with CM Punk. That's a whole story in itself.
Yep.
Plus Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton. Added that touch of glamour and anticipation.
And those quick backstage shots, too. Gunther, Jey Uso.
Right.
Getting ready for that opener, it immediately makes that first match feel more intense.
Totally primes the audience. And what a list of matches they ran through. 7 matches announced for night 1.
Yeah, a real mix. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title right off the bat.
And War Raiders versus New Day for the tag titles. Naomi versus Jade Cargill. That's interesting.
LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title. El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix stepping in for the injured Rey Mysterio. Right?
Yeah, that was a late change. Then Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the Women's Championship. Big match feel there.
And the main event, CM Punk with Heyman against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in a triple threat. Wow.
It's just stacked. And Cole highlighted some key stories, didn't he? Roman's 10th Mania main event, but no bloodline this time. The history between him and Rollins. And like you said, Heyman aligning with Punk, that's a game changer.
Huge implications. Those are the hooks, right? Reminding you of the history, the stakes. They also apparently hyped up Stratton versus Flair quite a bit, too.
Yeah, playing on that dynamic. But it all seemed to build towards that opener, Gunther versus Jey Uso. You could feel the excitement for that kicking things off.
Okay, so after that rundown, we get another video package, this one narrated by Triple H himself. How did this one feel different?
This felt broader, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
more about WrestleMania's legacy. It mixed current stars with classic moments and celebrities, too.
Yeah, celebrities interacting with talent, holding replica belts, and The Rock showing up with that tagline, expect the unexpected.
That really hammers home the mainstream appeal, doesn't it? Like, this isn't just for wrestling fans anymore.
Integrating mainstream figures is just good promotion, draws more eyes.
And the tagline for this video was intense. It's only the beginning if you think you know the whole story. It's the realest it's ever been. What's that about, do you think?
It feels like they're signaling maybe a new era, a shift. Realest it's ever been, that suggests, I don't know, more authenticity, maybe blurring kayfabe lines even more. It's designed to make you curious.
Definitely. And it ended with something like, Vegas is about to find out how real this shit can get.
Yeah, pretty blunt, leaves an impression for sure.
No kidding. Quite a shift from the City of Dreamers vibe.
And, well, what shit are we even talking about?
Okay. Then back live, and Alicia Taylor introduces Triple H to the ring. His presence adds a certain weight, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Having a top executive come out, welcome everyone, especially highlighting the global viewership, it just underscores the scale and importance of the event. Classic moment, gets the energy way up.
All right, so the stage is set, the intros are done, the hype is real. What about the actual look and feel? The production, the stage?
Great. The spectacle. Big pyro displays, those sweeping shots of the massive stadium crowd, and Michael Cole officially welcoming everyone as Travis Scott's Fiend, 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 Fiend starts playing.
Okay, yeah, that track definitely brings a modern high-energy feel.
And the stage itself described as a kick-ass Vegas casino theme.
Yeah.
Sounds like they really went all in on the location.
What kind of details?
Yeah.
More than just slapping some playing cards up.
Apparently, yeah. Things like lighting designed to mimic slot machines, maybe some architectural nods to famous casinos, really trying to immerse you in that Vegas atmosphere.
Nice. And I heard something about the seating being different. Fans actually above the stage.
Yeah, on an overhang. That's apparently a WrestleMania first. Creates a whole different look, gives more fans that live experience, and probably some cool camera angles for the broadcast.
Wow. Imagine that view. And even the announce discs got a makeover. Curved, maybe like poker tables.
Seems like it. Little touches like that pull the whole theme together. And then, of course, the commentary team we know. Cole, Pat McAfee, Wade Barrett. Familiar voices to guide you through it all.